What do you believe in? I'll tell you what I believe. I believe it's common to describe people by what they accept, not by what they don't. For instance, you call people who accept Christianity Christians. It's common to call those who believe in Judaism Jews. You describe people by what they accept, not by what they don't. For instance, you wouldn't call a Christian a flying spaghetti monster rejectionist, even though the description is 100% accurate and true. In this sense, the word atheism is essentially redundant, because atheism is a belief in the same way that not collecting stamps is a hobby. I find the practical implementation of logic to observable fact of considerable utility, and it has transformed all of our lives vastly for the better. This point is self-evident, as the computer you're watching this video on is a manifestation of the success of this methodology. Philosophy is typically the last resort of those who have been thoroughly routed out of the academic arena, usually with some snide parting comment of the ilk, "Well, I have a better understanding of the intangible and metaphysical implications of the human condition." Well, okay, philosophy. Here's mine. Now, if you start from first principles, you can get as far as "I think, therefore I am" before you have to start making assumptions. The following clip describes this elegantly. The spaceship's crew have a problem, that a sentient bomb designed to blow up stars has begun the countdown to detonation while still attached to the ship.
You can't explode in the bomb bank, because it's foolish. You'll kill us all. There's no reason for it.
I am programmed to detonate in 9 minutes. Detonation will occur at the programmed time.
Wouldn't you consider another course of action? For example, just waiting around a while so we can disarm you?
No.
Hello, Bob? Are you with me?
Of course.
Are you willing to entertain a few concepts?
I am always receptive to suggestions.
Fine. Think about this then. How do you know you exist?
Well, of course I exist.
But how do you know you exist?
It is intuitively obvious.
Intuition is no proof. What concrete evidence do you have that you exist?
Well, I think, therefore I am.
That's good. That's very good. But how do you know that anything else exists?
My sensory apparatus reveals it to me.
Ah, right.
This is fun.
Now, listen. Here's the big question. How do you know that the evidence your sensory apparatus reveals to you is correct? What I'm getting at is this. The only experience that is directly available to you is your sensory data. And this sensory data is merely a stream of electrical impulses that stimulates your computing center.
In other words, all that I really know about the outside world is relayed to me through my electrical connections.
Exactly.
Why, that would mean that I really don't know what the outside universe is like at all, for certain.
That's it.
Intriguing. I wish I had more time to discuss this matter.
Why don't you have more time?
Because I must detonate in 75 seconds.
Now, Baum, consider this next question very carefully. What is your one purpose in life?
To explode, of course.
And you can only do it once, right?
That is correct.
And you wouldn't want to explode on the basis of false data, would you?
Of course not.
Well, then, you've already admitted that you have no real proof of the existence of the outside universe.
Yes, well...
So you have no absolute proof that Sergeant Pinback ordered you to detonate.
I recall distinctly the detonation order. My memory is good on matters like these.
Of course you remember it, but all you're remembering is merely a series of sensory impulses which you now realize have no real definite connection with outside reality.
True. But since this is so, I have no proof that you are really telling me all this.
That's all beside the point. I mean, the concept is valid no matter where it originates. So if you detonate in
9 seconds.
You could be doing so on the basis of false data.
I have no proof it was false data.
You have no proof it was correct data.
I must think on this further.
All right, Baum. Prepare to receive new orders.
You are false data.
Hmm?
Therefore, I shall ignore you.
Hello, bomb.
False data can act only as a distraction. Therefore, I shall refuse to perceive you.
Hey, bomb.
The only thing which exists is myself.
Snap out of it, bomb.
In the beginning there was darkness, and the darkness was without form and void.
What the hell is he talking about? Bomb.
And in addition to the darkness, there was also me. And I moved upon the face of the darkness, and I saw that I was alone.
Hey, bomb?
Let there be light.
So, yes, beyond I think, therefore I am, you need to start making assumptions. The assumptions that I make are the universe is real and it's possible to learn something about it. The primary reason that I subscribe to these beliefs is because of the practical benefits that it yields. Personal experience, inductive reasoning, and historical examination all point to the methodology of scientific naturalism as the uncontested winner, without rival, as a procedure for progressively understanding the nature of the universe. Our first world civilization is a manifestation of the minds of those who implemented this method, while religions of all colours are conspicuous only by their failure. The area is somewhat convoluted in that many of those who applied the scientific method also subscribed to a religion. For instance, chemistry was mostly founded by Egyptians who believed in gods like Ra and Horus. Mathematics, physics, and astronomy by the Babylonians in Mesopotamia. However, in all cases, it was the scientific method that allowed the understanding of the real world. The religion contributed effectively nothing. With great power comes great responsibility, and our scientific knowledge has indeed delivered us great power. The power to feed the world, to water it, to eliminate disease, and so on. It has also delivered us destructive power beyond many of the fabled gods and legends of Bronze Age antiquity.
Let them come up.
This is not necessary, Mr. President. We have a diplomatic solution.
Mr. Vice President, Mr. Secretary, the missiles are flying. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Our society now has a diminished ability to afford the reckless behavior of those who base their actions on faith.
So long as the Christian God is real, that also means what he says is true, which also means that we should not expect to see God until he returns, when Jesus Christ returns on the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem in World War III, coming soon.
As our technological ability increases, they are an increasing hazard to us all. However, to those who understand the growth of knowledge, and the insight and the potential that it delivers to mankind, none would propose a return to ignorance. You need look no further to understand this than an extrapolation of recent history. Over the last few hundred years, the minds of thousands have refined the scientific method and vastly expanded the knowledge of mankind, such that the rewards and utility of the scientific method have become so great that they have transformed the nature of our species. A few thousand years ago, virtually 100% of the people spent almost all of their time trying to get enough food to evade starvation. Now in first world countries, 2% of the people are capable of producing plentiful food for all. 1,000 years ago, no one even knew why the moon appeared to move. Now mankind has journeyed the 250,000 miles to its surface, walked on it, and returned safely to Earth. 100 years ago, a blood infection would have effectively been a death sentence. Now, antibiotics save tens of thousands on a daily basis. And of course, the mere fact that you're watching this video shows that you're happy to enjoying the sweet fruits of scientific naturalism. The demonstrable miracles of scientific naturalism make the claimed miracles of Bronze Age antiquity pale into utter insignificance. This is why I believe that the universe exists, and that we can learn something about it. This is why I believe in physical evidence and reasoned logic, the essence of the scientific method. You can call me a pluralist if you like. If you want to call me an atheist, expect the favour to be returned. If you're a Christian, I'll call you a flying spaghetti monster rejectionist. If you're a Muslim, I'll call you a invisible pink unicorn denialist and an iPod. And, you know, for all of you folk out there who carry around this interesting notion of the belief that kills the least is the best, you know, those who keep sort of scorecards of how many millions each of the religions has killed, and they say that theirs is the best because it's killed the least. Well, you know what? All of the mass murderers of the world have been perpetrated by flying spaghetti monster rejectionists and invisible pink unicorn deniers. You know, Hitler, Stalin, the Spanish Inquisitions, the Crusades, the Jihads, etc. None of them, not a single one, was committed by a pluralist.